Hello, and welcome to Math with Miss Amelia. I have my math hat on, so I'm all ready to talk about 2D shapes and 3D objects with you. First, I'd like you to grab a piece of paper and a pencil and meet me back here. In this video, I will talk about some of the vocabulary that Annie and Moby discussed in the Brain Pop video that you watched last week. Then, I will talk about some of the shapes that were in a worksheet that you did for me last week that Annie and Moby did not talk about. And finally, I'm going to show you some pictures of real-life 3D objects and ask you to name them. So first, let's review some vocabulary. Annie and Moby talked about plane shapes. And what did they mean? They're talking about two-dimensional shapes, or 2D shapes. When they talk about solid shapes, they are talking about three-dimensional shapes. The difference between the two is found in this worksheet. And you did that worksheet already, so you know how to do it. Another word that Annie and Moby talked about that might be new to you is the word vertices. Another name for the word vertices is corners. Annie and Moby also talked about edges. Remember what an edge is? An edge is the side of a shape. And what about a face? A face is the side of a 3D shape. Now, there are some shapes on the worksheet that you did, some two-dimensional shapes, that Annie and Moby did not talk about. First one is a trapezoid. Trapezoid has 4 edges and 4 vertices. Next, we have a pentagon. A pentagon has 5 edges and 5 corners, or 5 vertices. Finally, we have a hexagon, which has 6 sides and 6 vertices. Now, I'm going to show you some pictures and ask you to name these 3D objects. That first object should be very familiar to you, and I hope you also recognize the author. That book is an example of a rectangular prism. Rectangular prisms have 6 faces, 12 edges, and 8 vertices. The second object is a square. It has 4 edges and 4 vertices. The third object is a cone. It only has 1 face at its base and 1 vertice at the very top. Now, can you name the next 3 objects in this picture? Object number 4 is a plate that is shaped like a circle. Remember, circles have no edges and no vertices. They are also round and make great wheels because they can roll. Object number 5 is a cracker that is shaped like a hexagon. A hexagon has 6 edges and 6 vertices. And finally, item number 6 is a toilet paper roll that is shaped like a cylinder. A cylinder is like a rolled up rectangle. It has no vertices. Now, there were 3 more objects. These are the final 3. Can you name them? Object number 7 is a piece of paper. Because it is flat, it's a plane shape. So it's a rectangle. Because it has 4 edges, but they're not all equal length. It also has 4 vertices. Object number 8 is a cube. It has 6 faces, or 6 flat edges. Object number 9 is a globe. It is an example of a sphere. An orange is another example of a sphere. A sphere has no faces, no edges, and no vertices, so it can roll very well. Well, that's the end of this video. So, for now, hats off, and I'll see you next week.